What do you remember about the last days of offline school? The days and months leading up to the unexpected, undesired, and uncanny lockdown. Because personally, I remember it as clear as day. I remember that the class was so cold due to the constant rain. I remember that teachers wouldn't come to class and we would have nothing but free time on our hands. I remember I was going back and forth to the school's canteen, getting caught in the downpour. It is sad, honestly, the limited number of high school stories that I can tell. Because I spent only 7 months. 7 months spent in a classroom filled with 40 new faces, all taken away in an instant when the first lockdown was announced. Fast forward about a year and a half, here we are now. It seems that we're now so used and adjusted to the online learning system. We now know the ins and outs of how Google Classroom works. We're so familiar with the Kahoot sound. We're now so used to scribbling on a Jamboard. You see, these platforms or applications, they basically saved the education system when it had to change drastically due to the circumstances. It got me thinking, what would happen to these revolutionary applications post-pandemic, when we're able to go back to school offline, sit in front of our teachers? Will this be a thing of the past? Will we actually go back to the way things were before March 2020? Or will schools still find a way to utilize these programs and platforms in our learning system? You see, on one hand, I would love for things to go back to the way they were. I would love for things to go back to normal, and I need my offline classes because I need my social interactions. You see, social interactions as simple as small chats in corridors between classes is actually proven in a study to be very effective in a child's development as well as one's well-being. But on the other hand, I can't imagine life again without applications like Zoom meetings, Gmeets, and etc. So the question is, why can't we have both? Why can't we both have offline classes as well as implementing the technology in the system? Blended learning. You see, blended learning is a combination of both offline and online classes where the students will interact with the teacher both through a physical classroom as well as an online platform. You see, with this method, you basically get the best of both worlds, just like Hannah Montana. It is like a win-win situation, you may call it. For the students, you see, you'll be able to meet your friends. You'll be able to learn and understand the concept easily. But the thing is, for the teachers as well, the teaching process will be more effective and efficient. But, you see, even if countries like Denmark and Norway, they have started implementing this amid the pandemic, in a country like Indonesia, there must be lots of planning, coordinations, and discussions between all parties involved to make sure that it will run as smoothly and effective as possible. Given Indonesia's lack of infrastructure, digital literacy, as well as the economic welfare of the country, we need to make sure that we have a program or a plan set up so that the program can be as effective and efficient as possible, right? So how do we maximize the potential of blended learning post-pandemic? First of all, you see, the school and the government must make sure that all parties involved, meaning teachers, students, and parents, they know exactly what is blended learning and how it works. There must be socialization and an agreement between parents and school to make sure that they will actually help support the program. Second, to make sure that it works effectively, teachers must be trained and skilled on how they can use these technologies, these different features and applications to their advantage, and make sure that they can use these to make learning fun and more efficient, as well as unique for the students. Third, you see, since blended learning, there's about 6 different methods, right? The government must first find one which they think is the most effective, most efficient, but then again, as well as they must make sure that this one method that they will pick is the most doable to be implemented in such short notice. Flipped learning. So flipped learning is one out of the 6 methods of blended learning. And I believe this is the best one possible. Because with flipped learning, you see, teachers will explain the concept or the material through a pre-recorded video. But then during offline classes, the teachers will guide the students through practice as well as group projects. Why flipped learning? Because with flipped learning, the teaching time will be more effective and efficient. You see, during offline classes, it means that the teachers will be able to guide the students or focus more on the students that still have problems or have a hard time on understanding the concept, but then again, still allowing the students that are able to understand it quicker to work more freely. It allows also for more student collaboration, which will then obviously lead to the students having a deeper understanding of the concept, as well as doing it in their own way and own pace. And for the teachers, you see, with this method, they will be more free to pick how exactly do they want to teach the students, like whether it is through a pre-recorded video, through PowerPoints, or even diagrams, and etc. You see, about 67% of surveyed instructors, actually, it was mentioned in a study by the Flipped Learning Network in the year 2014 that 67 of these instructors, 67%, stated that they have seen an improvement in student test scores as well as student motivation. And about 99% of those instructors stated that they would actually reuse the method the following year. Blended learning. So blended learning, it has been the future of education for quite some time now. It is basically the future, in a time like this, in a situation like this, it is time to officially integrate technology into our learning process. We have these different features, applications, platforms that makes us able to understand or have the learning process easier for both the instructors and students. So give me a logical reason why we should not try to take advantage of it. With the times progressing and the technology getting advanced day by day, I am 100% sure that it is time to revolutionize the system. It is time to implement and integrate technology officially into the education sector. It is time to change the way we learn. It is time to change the way we teach, because it is the future now. My name is Janice. Thank you for listening.